Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day. What is your story?
My name's Kelly. I'm 22.
Oh, all right. That's part of your story.
Yes.
All right. This is a story about Kelly, 22. And what is Kelly's story?
And
It's a very emotional story. What is it emotional about? Take your time. What are you feeling?
what was that?
What are you feeling?
It's overwhelming. It's really exciting that.
Are you feeling love within yourself?
Yes.
All right.
And I'm starting to realize.
That you deserve it?
Yes.
Oh, all right. That's a nice story.
For a long time, I felt empty and sad and.
Yes. You told yourself a very empty story for a long time. But now you are telling a very fulfilling story.
Yes. And
Yes.
part of it is as I'm growing and I'm starting to learn a lot.
Yes. Which is what growing is all about.
Yes. A lot of it is memories that I'm trying to
Not trying.
that I'm remembering.
Yes.
And I just
That
wanted
have to do with what?
with myself as a young girl,
Yes.
because I feel a lot of things I blocked out, and I started to forget who I was, and
All right.
because it was painful to think about it.
All right. But now you understand that you can invent yourself at every moment as a new person. Yes?
Yes.
And as you do so, the things that you're calling past memories actually have no longer any relevance for you because you're not that person anymore. Literally. They literally have nothing to do with you anymore if you choose to define yourself that way. Do you understand this concept?
Yes, but sure.
All right.
And every day
Yes.
I remember I spend time by myself, remembering myself as a child. Now that I'm accepting and trying to get rid of those blocks. And one of them.
It's not about trying to get rid of the blocks. It's about investigating the belief systems that you've bought into and identifying those beliefs so that you can recognize that the beliefs that are out of alignment with your truth don't belong to you and you can let them go. You may have simply been given them by parents, by friends, by society, but once you identify them as someone else's beliefs, you will understand they don't belong to you and you can let them go because you don't want to carry what doesn't belong to you. You understand?
Yes.
So let them go if they don't belong to you, because once you understand they don't belong to you, they have no more effect on you, because effect is only what you choose to be affected by. And if you have beliefs that are unconscious, you feel the effect because you're not aware of what the belief is. But once you know what the belief is, once you identify it, it no longer has an effect because you can recognize you no longer prefer it to have an effect. You're no longer choosing it to have an effect. And so it no longer does. Identification of the beliefs is key.
Thank you. And one more is, as I'm remembering these memories of myself as a kid, a lot of them, they are exciting and I feel really happy when I think about it, but then in the end, I feel, at the end of that realization, I feel sad because it's gone. And
because it's what? You feel sad because it's what?
It's not gone. I know.
It will never go away. Remember that growth is the process of inclusion, not exclusion. You will always be aware of that as a possible experience, but you can understand you don't have to choose to buy into that experience as having anything to do with the you you're defining yourself to be now. Do you understand the difference?
Yes.
If you truly are a different person, if you truly define yourself as a new person, then linearly speaking, from a space-time perspective, if you truly have defined yourself as a new person, then wouldn't you as a new person have a different past? than the person that was there a moment ago?
Could you repeat that one more time?
Yes, I can. And for the first time, if you truly understand that you're defining yourself as a new person and understand clearly that when you do redefine yourself as a new person, that this is not just a metaphorical idea, that you literally are a new person, then linearly speaking, from your space-time perspective, every different person has a different history. So if you really are defining yourself as a different person than you used to be, then you have a different past. You have a different childhood. Define the childhood that belongs to the person you're defining yourself to be now as a young adult. You can define the childhood now. You create the past from the present, not the other way around. The past does not define the present unless you choose to create that illusion. But you're creating that illusion from the present because you only exist in the present. So any so-called past that you're remembering, you're actually creating the relationship to that idea now from the person you're defining yourself to be. So if you define yourself differently, you can actually know you've created a different past, a different relationship. So define the child you'd prefer to be, or in your language, define the childhood you would prefer to have had that is relevant for the person you're defining yourself to be now, and recognize that the so-called memories of the childhood you don't prefer belong to another woman. They don't belong to you. It's her childhood, not yours. Not yours, literally not yours. It's not about ignoring it. It's not about covering it up. It's about acknowledging it as the stepping stone that you were able to use to define who it is you prefer to be. And in so doing, the childhood she had helped you become the person you are that has a different childhood. That's the paradox. Is this making sense?
Yes.
So you, whoever you are now, never had that childhood, even though you can still be aware of those so-called memories, but those so-called experiences belong to her, not you. She's in another reality now. You're not her any longer. Literally. I don't care what you think you still look like in the mirror. That's just an illusion of continuity. You're actually a different person, literally, because person is an artificial construct. Personality is just composed of beliefs and emotions and thoughts and behaviors. It's a mask that the consciousness wears to have a physical experience. It's just part of the ego structure mask. Personality, when you change anything about your beliefs or your feelings or your behaviors or your thoughts, you actually change the person, literally, that you are. Even though you think you look the same, you're actually not the same person. You just look similar to her. That's all. Similar, because you're creating the sense of similarity. But in fact, as many people on your planet have already experienced, when you change yourself enough, when you know you've changed yourself enough, you can actually look so different, because you really are a different person, that some of your quote-unquote friends may actually not recognize you. Who are you? Oh, I didn't recognize. Why do you look so different? Because I am. I am a different person. Now, you have maintained a connection with those people in a manner. You've co-created a reality together with those friends so that you're interacting with a version in your reality, a version of those friends that contains the ability to recognize the difference. Were you to simply not need that experience, then you would simply be capable of changing enough. I'm just talking about a possibility here. You would be capable of changing your appearance to match the differences within you enough so that any of the people that the old person used to call friends would actually literally not recognize you when you walk by and wouldn't even say you look different. They just wouldn't know who you were. But you don't necessarily want to create that much detachment, so you maintain the idea of the version of them that will recognize the difference, but will also show you that you really have changed. You can use the friends as a reflective mirror in that way to prove to yourself you really are a different person by having them reflect to you that they almost didn't recognize you.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
But you really are a different person. Literally. Take me literally. This is not a metaphor.
Yes.
It's not an analogy. Everything you change, every time you change, changes everything, literally. You are in an entirely different parallel reality as an entirely different person, if that's how you choose to define yourself to be. And you can know that whoever was here a moment ago, whoever she was, wish her well, bless her, give her unconditional love. But those memories of childhood are hers. They're not yours. Does that help you?
Yes. And one more thing.
Yes.
Part of my story.
Yes.
In my dream state,
Yes.
I have a reoccurring dream.
Yes. How exciting.
And
Do share. Yes. Do you need a hug?
I'm at the ocean and
Do you need a hug?
Yes. I don't.
Somebody give her a hug. No, there is nothing to apologize for. This is the process of discovering your beliefs. You see, you have been bold enough and strong enough to choose an event, an experience called experiencing a lot of emotionality so that I may recognize through these emotions what I believe to be true. Very bold, very strong, very exciting story. I'm on the edge of my seat. And so is the channel's body.
Okay. Thank you.
And so this reoccurring story is what?
I'm at the beach.
Yes.
And I see this tidal wave.
Yes.
And it's coming.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I usually it varies.
Yes.
Sometimes I feel really scared and I paralyze.
Yes.
But then the wave lands on me.
Yes.
And I just float with it. Like I feel like I'm gonna
Yes.
get hurt or something. But I go along into the wave.
And what happened then?
And then I wake up.
And then what happened? Don't you hear that a lot in stories? And then what happened?
Yes.
How exciting.
And
You understand the symbology archetypally for yourself?
That's what I'm trying to understand, because sometimes
Water represents emotion. You said you're overwhelmed by your emotional feelings, the tidal wave. But if you go with the flow, you're all right. Your emotions can't smash you if you go with the flow. You won't be overwhelmed if you go with the flow. You'll be fine.
Thank you.
That's the story of the tidal wave. Does that help you?
Yes.
Then pleasant dreams to you in your new story.
Thank you, Bashar.
My, what a loud story.